Well, hello, my beautiful Scorpio. Welcome to my channel. This is Baba Jolie here with your monthly reading for May 2024. I've already cleansed your space and have meditated on your cards. For those of you who are returning, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for all your wonderful likes, shares, and subscribes. I am truly grateful for all your beautiful energy. Just a little reminder though, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one reading, just so you're aware. Also, please be mindful, scammers are about to pretend to be me and lots of other tarot readers. I do not do personal readings. I do not take your money, e-gifts, donations. I'm not on Facebook, WhatsApp, PayPal, Telegram, or Patreon. I will never ask you for your credit card details. I will never ask for personal details, and I'll also never give you a cell phone number to call. So if anyone masquerading as me asks for anything at all, please report them or ignore them. It is a scam, okay? Let's move straight on with your reading. I'm going to cleanse your space hourly, so please be mindful there's going to be 3 loud sounds. Let us begin. Okay, my beautiful Scorpio, this is your monthly reading for May. I'm going to get all of your cards first before I connect to an outcome. But even before I start your reading, I'm being shown an image in the water of, well, 2 things actually, a magnifying glass and a microscope. So maybe something needs your attention this month, or you need to take a closer look at it. We will go deeper to find out what that is. I mean, maybe you're going to be really practical, calculated, analytical, or even scientific about something in your life in the month of May, going deeper, inspecting the details, the finer details, or paying attention to something. I mean, both instruments, they actually require your eyes to see something. So perhaps some of you may be going for an eye checkup, or you are changing your prescription if you have glasses. Some of you may be looking at how your health is doing and how it affects your eyes. So some of you may be looking at blood sugar levels or something like that. So please take it as it resonates. I'm not a medical professional or health practitioner. So, basically reach out to somebody if you're worried about it. I don't see anything untoward, but I feel like maybe you're just paying attention to that part of your body in the month of May. I mean, it could also indicate that you're sizing something up, perhaps, or taking a closer inspection at something that needs your critical eye, or you've been keeping an eye on it for some time and you're going to have a bit of a breakthrough regarding it. So I'm not really sure how else to decode the images I'm being shown, so please take it as it resonates. So I'm just going to detach from that energy with respect. But looking at your cards, you've got a lot of passion for this month, moving forward with tenacity, drive. I mean, May is a very powerful month. There are many intense shifts occurring, and you may have been feeling exhausted, burnt out, and actually fed up recently, but Mars now reappears 15 degrees apart from Saturn. And that occurs from the 4th of May. And this really is a big deal as our collective motivation returns. Vibrations raise higher spiritually. You'll be embracing, they want me to go one more. You'll actually be embracing that inner warrior to overcome challenges, find solutions to any problems that you've been experiencing. So expect to feel more energized, motivated, and tenacious to move forward on long-term goals. Now, Saturn is a very serious planet that can be a hard taskmaster, pushing us all to work hard, maintain momentum, and remain true to our path without distraction. And this in turn can create some minor tension with others as we all jostle with this intense change of energy. But ultimately, Mars encourages you to be passionate about all your endeavors. You'll embrace self-expression, creativity, as well as feel enthusiastic to learn new things. You'll pay more attention to health, body, mind, and soul. And of course, Mars, it reignites your lust for life to find new exciting ways. We're going to go to this deck next. New exciting ways to revamp your life or bring it back to a track that you feel happy with, or even reignite that spark that may have been missing for the last couple of months, as Mars has actually been hidden and that affected energy levels across the board. Now, Jupiter, the most auspicious planet of prosperity, shines its beautiful energy on us all, and it finally delivers better times ahead. So we can expect amplified opportunities and success in areas that you've been focusing your energy on. Of course, we have moved into Taurus season, so we'll be discovering new ideas on how to increase wealth, repay debt, and create solid foundations for stability. Now, you may also get more invitations to events this month. They should start to flow in. And with Jupiter showing up in the sign of Gemini, you'll feel a little bit more sociable than you have done for quite some time. So you may potentially meet new people to add to your soul tribe. The new moon also occurs on the 8th of May, and this is all about reconnecting with nature, falling back in love with your life again, attracting good luck, and deepening your connection with the law of attraction. So if you do have a law of attraction ritual that you tend to do, but you've lost touch with it, or you've been meaning to get back on it, this is the month to do that. Now also the full moon will be in Sagittarius on the 23rd of May, and that really will affect all signs, injecting more opportunities for adventure, to take charge and make bold decisions while seeing the bigger picture of your life, to remain on track, but also to attract more fun and spontaneity along the way. Now also I have to note this, that Jupiter, it will conjunct the Sun on the 18th of May, and after that Jupiter will not grant any more wishes until later on in the year, around about mid-June, end of June time. That's when Jupiter really comes back on point. So on a personal level, May will actually be really full of potential, but just do as much as you can before the 18th. It doesn't mean that you're going to have any bad luck. It just means there's greater potential at the beginning of May. Now, as I said, on a personal level, May will be a month of lucky breaks potential, despite chaotic surroundings. But on a global scale, however, the reappearance of Mars can actually escalate conflicts that are already in motion, and power plays can increase that tension further. So, it could be a very difficult time globally. Plus, the disappearance of Jupiter can see public figures in power just disappear from the spotlight, or shirk responsibility or accountability when the public need them the most to step up and lead. And I also hate to say this, but those crazy weather events will continue to occur, sadly. Hurricane season may actually arrive early this year, disrupting the natural flow of weather systems. So that's definitely something to look out for. And also Mars has a very strong gravitational influence on the Earth, especially in terms of volcanic activity. And as we are in Taurus season, Taurus is an earth element, we could see more earthquake activity in areas where they are not typical. Also, Mars and Saturn partnering up, it kind of affects the water. So there may even be a large-scale flooding event, especially in or near the Ring of Fire. I keep being given that area, okay? So again, I hope I'm wrong. I really hope I'm wrong, but I'm just mentioning it because it's something that keeps coming up for me time after time. Now, Mercury is no longer in retrograde. So that really is good news. We can all breathe a sigh of relief and start moving forward. And we have to also be aware that extra intense solar flares this month could actually, influence. Oh, they want me to go again. Wow. They could actually influence the energy. So I would say it would be prudent to save down any important documents or financial statements, as there may be some gremlins in the system, cyber attacks, power outages, things like that. Also, many more exposés will continue to be revealed. They want that one. Wow, I don't think I've ever seen so many requests for another card and another card and another card from my guides. But here we are. So that's what they want. Just to let you know, I'm in communication with my guides as I do this reading as well. They pop in and influence the reading from time to time. But as I was saying, before we move on to your cards, we do have, more exposés continuing to be revealed. If you remember my yearly readings, you'll know that Pluto continues to expose all things hidden from the collective, which can feel very uncomfortable at first, but Pluto reveals in order to create tension so that there'll be a purge that will eventually deliver great karmic paybacks. We're already seeing that with certain people being exposed in all areas of the world. But ultimately, this is a month for you, my beautiful Scorpio, to rediscover your passion, your energy, your focus, to check in with your strategy and your plans whilst productively edging closer to your goals and achieving them. Now, your first card there is fire, okay? So that means your energy is increasing. So you may have felt really drained or just a little bit scattered recently, but I feel you're definitely going to be paying attention to those energy levels. You may even look at things that are diet related that affect your energy levels, maybe even things that are related to your schedule that are energy related. For example, if you wake up in the morning, the first thing to do is scroll through your phone, check out what's going on in the world, or check out messages. It can mean that you're feeling a little bit drained. You've given a lot of your energy to like an electronic device that absorbs energy but also gives off energy. So some of you may be looking at, rescheduling the way that you do things. You may decide to get up in the morning and, stand in the sun, if there is sun, and you haven't got one of those storms. But also, it could be that you're just changing your routine in some way. I'm just giving you an example. I'm not giving you advice. I'm just saying some of you may be just noticing how certain practices start to drain your energy, because I feel like you're working on optimum energy this month. Now, of course, you're governed by your 7th house and your 2nd house this month. And your 7th house is all about partnerships, people in your everyday circumstances, deepening those partnerships and alliances. And, you may even start up a business with someone that you really trust this month. But also, I feel this is more about you looking at who's got your back, who you can trust in your life, who's changed, who you're outgrowing, where you're evolving away from or to. And I definitely see you are just looking at romantic partnerships, business partnerships, friendships, and you're going to be really discerning about the company that you keep. And you're going to just be keeping an eye on who's got your back, who supports your endeavors and raises you up rather than drains you. And your 2nd house of value is also taking over from that mid-month. And that's how you value yourself, looking at situations where you give away your power, undersell your talents, or even notice when people underestimate you. Also, you can be more focused on cash, property, budget, savings, pensions plans, repayment plans, real estate, all of those things that the 2nd house requires you to do to create stability for you and yours. Also, this is a month for leveling up, being a go-getter, achieving what you deserve and all that you put your effort into. And you're definitely on fire there. This card, of course, is about you leading with your passions. And it's number 8 there. 8 is the number of the self. So this is you living your passions, allowing your spirit to drive you forward, not overthink situations. Now is the time to innovate, take action, and be sometimes a lighthouse for others. But I actually see some of you may even find yourself a mentor. The way that you lead your life, other people are going to be in awe or impressed by it, and you may have someone who tries to copy what you do. They can never truly be you, but sometimes someone copying you can be the best flattery. But you're not all about flattery. You're here to live your life. You're here to set your goals, intentions, and leave the world a better place than when you found it. So I definitely see that you're going to set tasks, be in a very creative force, and really you're looking at your life and seeing what sets your soul ablaze. That's your protagonist energy. You're looking at May with this go-getting spirit. And I mean, the word there says ignition. So some of you are starting new things, new pathways, new ways of thinking. Some of you, thank you so much. I'm truly grateful. They're actually showing me someone I'm seeing an image right now in the water. They're showing me someone in a maze, one of those mazes of life. But it's actually a maze with all these high hedges. And the person is actually coming up against like a huge hedge. Obviously can't move in it or around it, and is taking like a hedge cutter to it and creating a pathway. So that's what I'm seeing in the water right now. That's actually a really cool image. So it's like some of you may have felt like you've come up against some sort of blockage or blockade in your path, and you're not going to be defeated. You will find a way. You're finding innovative ways to create your own path this month. And if you come up against, that slight blockage there, it's like, okay, how do I find a way through this? And you are forging a path. So I feel right now you are cultivating your landscape and shifting your perspective, and you're really in a can-do attitude. Now, you tend to always be in a can-do attitude, but I feel this month you're making things happen. Okay, your first card there in terms of a major arcana card is the Justice card. So you're going out for what you truly deserve because you put a lot of effort into your life. You're someone who works hard and plays hard as well, but also this is a card that indicates you are starting to recognize, or you've always recognized, that what you put in, you should get out. But the law of attraction and the law of the universe tends to tell us it's not always immediate. So just because you're not seeing results in some area, I feel like you're seeing it for the long term. You're not giving up on it. I definitely see that you're living your truth. And I feel May is actually going to be a very exciting month for you to get justice, because there's some really good karma coming here. But also I feel this is about you living your truth. It's about finding solutions. That's what the Justice card does. It finds solutions, honest solutions and pathways to problems or difficulties. But also it's a card of adjustment. So some of you may be not sort of changing your plans, but you may be tweaking your plans or cultivating your plans so that they're more streamlined, that you are more in alignment with your true life's calling and mission. And when you get the Justice card as well, I do feel with these two cards partnered up, you're going to be busy. Okay, you're definitely going to be busy, very productive, on the go, and you're making life happen for you. Now, this is a month of tenacity, drive. I mean, you've got the Chariot card twice. So this is an indication that you are dedicated to making some major changes in your life and you're aligned with success. You can be very disciplined. I actually feel, because of your second house, I feel normally, you are someone who requires a lot of spontaneity. You are very fixed as well. So you kind of like schedules and you like to know where you're at, but also you like to have that sort of other side of you that's like, throwing caution to the wind and just going for it. But I actually feel the month of May, some sort of routine or schedule is really going to work for you this month to be a little bit more structured. And that's the energy that I'm getting from this card, because I feel like you're working hard towards something. It could be a project, could be a personal development situation where you're really focused on transforming your body, mind, and soul, or your lifestyle in some way, or some sort of routine. But I feel like the more you do, the better it gets. So I feel like you are going to be committed to whatever this is, and I feel like you're going to see results as well there. So I feel like you're trying to keep balance and harmony in your life, but basically you're tuning in. I mean, you can see all those wonderful musical notes. I mean, I also feel that some of you are going to discover some really powerful new music in the month of May, something that really inspires you. So if you like to go down to the gym, for example, you may hear a song, or you may discover a new song on your play shuffle, and it actually becomes your song of the month to power on through. For some of you, if it's not about the gym, it could be that you are finding some sort of power ballad that comes on your shuffle as you're walking, and it just gives you that extra boost in order to focus and get from A to B. But it's not really about getting from A to B. It's more about getting from where you are right now towards achieving your goal. So I feel music is actually going to work well for you this month there too. Now, of course, the Justice card is about karma. So I feel you're living your passions, but also you're moderating or tempering, or let's say, I'm going to change the word to channeling. I feel it's more than tempering, because sometimes people may have said to you, you're very intense, you're very passionate, and they are traits that are really commendable, because sometimes people are afraid to live their passions, but you're not. Sometimes people may have said to you that you are too much, or you're really intense, but that's because they are scared of that lies within them. They just don't want to tap into it. So they want to put you into a little box of expectation, and I feel like you're living your truth and you're not allowing that to happen. But I feel this month you're not actually tempering your passions or your energy. I feel like you're channeling it into learning new things, but also I feel like with the Hierophant there, you're basically channeling it towards your expectations, because this is a card of expectations, not other people's expectations, but yours. So I feel you have high expectations of yourself. I feel it's really important that I see that, there's this energy of sometimes we have to recognize that we have many different purposes, not just one purpose. And you have a lot of things on the go this month. I feel like you're going to be super busy, and you're challenging yourself in a really great way. But at the same time, I feel it's important to prioritize or write a list maybe, because I feel this month you're going to get so much done, but I feel sometimes when we prioritize by writing a list, we won't miss anything. And I really feel like you're going to be super organized this month there as well. Now, I keep coming up this energy for my beautiful Scorpio. Some of you are looking at all the knowledge that you have right now, and this could be, experiences of life, and you may be actually mentoring other people or thinking about becoming a mentor, or you're using your skill set to either write a book or a course of learning. I feel like you could be imparting some wisdom or knowledge to somebody else or even to a group of people, and for some of you it could be wider. It could be like global, so some of you could actually be setting something up, could be launching a business or moving forward on something that you plan to help other people. But the law of attraction always says there must be a reciprocal exchange. So you putting out your skill set, you may be, rewarded with it financially. People may pay for your course of learning, for example, or your mentorship in some way. And some of you may even discover a mentor who inspires you to do whatever it is that, you have always wanted to do. Because I feel like your intention is there, but sometimes the information of how to proceed with it is not readily available. So you could actually discover someone who has a piece of information, like that missing piece of the puzzle. Because I feel like some of you are going to discover the missing piece of whatever it is you feel is lacking in your life at the moment. Whether it's that spark, when I tried to light this candle for you to start your reading, it didn't light first off. The candle wouldn't light and the match just went out. And I feel like a lot of you are exhausted, you're burnt out, but in May, you're actually going to rediscover this extra pocket of energy that kind of comes from nowhere because you're passionate about what you do. And I feel it's going to really help you. Now, with that Hierophant energy, some of you, not all of you beautiful Scorpios, some of you are actually getting married this month, and it's going to be a really wonderful experience. Enjoy the moment, live in the moment, but it may have been a lot of pressure to get it all up and running, but the pressure will be off. Everything's going to come together. I mean, with the Six of Swords here, I feel like you're being protected. There may be something here that perhaps, and don't get stressed or upset about it, there may be just one thing that perhaps is not ready in time, or it feels like isn't prepared or is absent in some way. So for example, if you, and I'm just giving an example of what could be needed for a wedding, perhaps if you have lots of bunches of flowers on tables at your wedding reception and you wanted a certain flower, perhaps you wanted 3 of them, there may be like only 1 of them, or maybe they just were not ready or in season, or the crop wasn't good enough to put in the bouquet, for example. I feel like there's something, it's a small ingredient, so if you are getting married, there may be a small ingredient or discrepancy where something doesn't go to plan, but it's only small, and you're kind of like not sweating the small stuff right now. I feel like you're going to have the most spectacular time, and congratulations if that's you and you're getting married there. And some of you after that are going to be whisked away on a wonderful honeymoon there too. Now for the rest of you, because of course not every Scorpio is getting married this month, the Hierophant is a card of learning. So I feel a lot of you are learning about yourself. I feel like you are digging a little bit deeper this month to know thyself, know your passions, really reignite that spark, but also you're looking a little bit deeper than that. So I feel maybe that's what that magnifying glass or that microscope was about. You're really casting a critical eye over your life and calculating things in order to look at the finer details. It's not just about your lifestyle. I feel it could be about the way that your body processes food, for example, or it could be the way that certain people or the company that you keep drain your energy or revitalize your energy. And you're just looking at, the world that you've built so far and the things that you're connected to. And I feel like you're just learning also more about yourself. I feel there's an energy here of you looking back as well on your heritage, looking at the experiences that you had when you were younger and how they made you who you are today. And, it's almost like you're sitting back, not in an egotistical way, but you're looking at how proud you are that you've been a warrior. You've gone through some really difficult stuff that other people would have crumbled at, but it made you stronger in order to, jump over further hurdles that came along the way. So I feel like you are looking at yourself that you are a tower of strength this month, and it only empowers you to take the next steps in your life, whatever they may be. Because I feel like you're very focused on your direction and your path this month. And that Hierophant, some of you could be opening yourself up to learning new skills, upskilling, or putting yourself on a course of learning, or even taking up a hobby this month, something that perhaps you've already booked, but it starts in May, or it could be something that you've been keeping your eye on and you want to book it for May. I definitely see that happening there. The main energy, because we have so much swords here, it could involve communication. So some of you could be learning a language, or some of you could be learning skills of how to communicate better or use the internet to upskill or even expand business. Some of you may be launching something, because we've got a major card here, where this figure is just taking a giant leap. And for some of you, it could be across the world. Some of you may be thinking about relocating or looking at who you are and where you feel like you belong. So I feel like there's a lot swirling around in your energy right now, but it's actually energizing you and making you feel excited about all the potential possibilities. Now, of course, life is hard. There is a lot of pressure. Look at that. We've got the pressure card there. And I feel like you have been under a lot of stress, a lot of pressure. There's a lot of things going on in the world at large that I feel you are an empath and are impacted by, but also I feel like you're keeping an eye on the way that things are moving right now. This could be you keeping an eye on the economy, what it means for your industry, your job, if you're in a career sector. And you may be worried about shifts, changes, or restructures and how they will affect you. But I feel like you are someone who is a survivor. And I feel right now I'm not seeing anything like negative happening here, but I feel like you're putting yourself in a position to make sure that you're ahead of the curve. So I feel some of you like taking promotions, really leveling up, utilizing your skill set and moving forward, because there's nothing worse than stagnating. I definitely see that you're trying to make sure that you don't stagnate. Some of you may feel that you haven't fulfilled your potential in some area of your life, and you're just reorganizing and restructuring and revamping in order to be on track, because I feel this is going to be a very busy month for you. And some of you may even be trying to do extra work or extra projects this month, because you may have booked some sort of vacation or travel either at the end of May or in June, and I feel like you're just trying to get ahead of yourself. This is a month where it feels very much like you're trying to get ahead of whatever it is you need to do, so that either you have more time for you or you have more time for like some sort of trip or vacation, because I feel that's coming up there as well. Now, this card is a very important card. It says here, transformation pressure, okay? Now, Scorpio, I'm a Scorpio too, our motto in life is to transform. We recognize that change is the one constant in this world that we live in. The seasons change, we change, people change, and we have to adapt. And often that's a very hard and sometimes painful experience to acknowledge that nothing really ever remains the same. It can evolve, it can grow better, it can grow worse. And it's all about being flexible and adaptable to environments. And I feel like you've learned that the hard way as you've walked through life, but you are a survivor because of it. And this card, it is number 26. Again, when you reduce it, 2 + 6 is 8. So again, it's the number of the self, but that's all about the strength energy. It's about unconditional love and respect. And of course, this card, when you get this card, it's all about, utilizing sometimes stressful situations to actually turn it around. And I feel like you are turning your life around right now. And you can basically view pressure as being negative, or you can see it as being a shaper of worlds, to direct your energy into positive influences. And that's what I was getting at the beginning. And your protagonist energy, it's like you're not tempering your energy or your passions, you're actually channeling it so that you don't waste energy on the little things. But I also see that you are going to be paying a lot of attention to the important things this month. People that you really care about, the people who really enrich your world, experiences rather than things is what I see here as well. And I really feel like you're utilizing sometimes stressful situations, and you are shaping your world into a positive experience. You're finding the happy medium where you can benefit from it and not be disadvantaged from it there as well. So I feel some of you have been under a lot of pressure. This could be that you feel everything is so fast paced. I mean, we're already in May, for example. You may be thinking, wow, the months are just flying on by, and you have certain things you want to accomplish, and you may feel that other things have been distracting you, or you've had to focus on other plans like paying the bills, doing a job. If you're looking for a job right now, for example, if you've been made redundant, or you walked away from something that was toxic, or you were fired, I feel like you're using that energy rather than to feel a little bit anxious, which of course to some degree I do feel some anxiety coming out there, but I also feel that you're looking at it like this is a blank canvas. This means life could go in any direction. You're opening yourself up to a level of excitement of what's next, and there is an opportunity coming here. So if you are looking for a new role, I know that the job market is really hard right now, but I definitely see that you're going to be moving into a new role quite quickly, and I just feel like you use your intellect, you use your focus, your attention to detail, and I feel like you're going to level up in this position really quickly. You may start at a certain level, but you're going to be elevated super quick. Even by the end of the year, I see you moving into a different role in that environment because they really want to utilize your skill set. So have confidence in your skills, because I definitely see a new role coming up for you there. Now, for those of you, of course, who are not looking for a job, or you're not in the working environment, some of you may be retired, for example, I feel like you are learning new things, reestablishing your belief system, and looking at your life's purpose. And some of you are trying to make fresh new starts. This could be that you want to relocate, maybe purchase property abroad, or retire abroad, or some of you may even be thinking about retirement, your retirement age. So you may be actually working towards a new beginning, because whenever you get the World card, which you didn't get in this reading, but you also get the Fool card, this is about major endings and beginnings in our life, and we all experience them. Some people say, how many new beginnings or endings can we have? Well, when a person turns 20, that's the end of their teens. When they reach a milestone in age, it could be that they're moving into menopause. So these things are like milestones. For some of you, it could be that you've worked in a country for quite some time and now you're relocating. For some of you, it could be the start of a new project, or a diet, or an exercise routine, or even a sleeping pattern routine. So we can have many new beginnings and endings because it means something wasn't working, so we've had to have a new beginning in order to springboard from. And with this card here, I feel like you are launching something that perhaps you've been holding back on for a while because you feel it's not ready, or you've just been, working behind the scenes on something. Some of you may have felt pressure to get this thing out, even if it is like a personal project, or you're thinking about launching a business. Never feel pressured, because there is divine timing. When the moment is right, it's going to take off. Because if you feel you're rushing into something and you feel deep down that you're not ready, then you must listen to your gut instincts. So important there as well. Also, some of you, especially with the Fool card, and this is across the board for my beautiful Scorpios, some of you may have felt that there's just been a lot of pressure right now, and that time is flying by and you never have enough time in the day, and you're like, where's the fun at? Because the Fool card, it is in the resistance position. Now, it's great that this card is in the resistance position because it means that the pressure is going to be off. But whenever pressure arises, because of course, life is all about cycles. Everything changes. We got to ride that wave of life. Sometimes we're up, sometimes we're down. It's about using the lessons that we learn in life in order to be in the flow. And I definitely see that you're being in the flow. But I feel here with the Fool card in the resistance position, some of you have been feeling that there's never enough time in the day for you to go out there and have fun. Or you may feel that you have learned some difficult lessons with some very careless people, careless with your heart. Or, some of you may have had someone who is absent in your world but left you without answers, and you're getting closure on those situations. You're completely leaving that behind. Some of you with the pressure card and the beginnings card here, this can indicate that something has so much potential, but you may be feeling a little bit of pressure and a little bit of anxiety as to what if it doesn't work. But the Fool card, it kind of encourages you to take that leap of faith, because if you don't, you'll never know. So sometimes we just got to launch ourselves in, but don't feel pressurized. And if someone wants you to do something, for example, if they're pressurizing you, it's because they have more to gain than you do. So for example, if you thought that you wanted to change energy providers, right? This could be another new beginning in your life. Maybe you feel like the old energy provider, too expensive, you're changing, and you've put the feelers out to talk to a different, energy providers. And one in particular is like, we're going to give you this deal, this deal, this deal. It's going to be great. You should just totally sign with us today. And then you go, you know what, I want some time to think about it. But if they're calling you constantly, they're trying to pressurize you because they need to cultivate numbers, and they're trying to get commission, and they just want you to sign, because the more that they get on board, then of course they're going to get more revenue, etc., etc. Don't feel pressured into doing anything without thinking it through, is what is definitely coming up here as well. Now, we also have the Six of Swords, okay? And these two cards in the resistance position, and they will go into the upright by the end of the month. I want you to realize that. But some of you have been feeling a little bit of apathy, or a little bit numb, or a little bit stuck in a situation. And that's all about to change for May. May is going to be almost by the seat of your pants. It's going to go really quick. You've got a lot of fast-paced energy happening here. But I feel like you're going to thrive in these circumstances. I also feel, if there's an energy here, because I do feel it, if you have been rejected from something, or something didn't go your way, it's because you're being directed towards something better here, okay? The Chariot card tells me you're going to reach your goal. There's triumph here, the success, but I feel like your dedication is the thing that's going to make progress. And that's what I meant about having structure. Sometimes when we do something over and over and over again, we're getting better and better and better at doing it. And, sometimes we can see, myself included, we can see routine and repetitive energy as boring, as dull, or we feel a little bit stuck. But also we can see it from a different perspective, that it actually helps us, keep life simple, that we're working towards something, we're dedicating and channeling our energy into something, and that we're making progress because we're getting closer, but also getting better at what we do. So things are becoming a little bit faster there as well. Six of Swords, it can indicate that some of you have been tested, but now you are coming out of that testing time with greater wisdom. And although times are turbulent, because we have to be honest, the world is a very crazy place. It has ramped up that level of crazy in the last couple of years. And I feel like you are trying to navigate the period with the resources that you have. And you're doing a great job, and things are going to get easier there, especially with this Six of Swords. This card, it kind of indicates you're expecting troubles ahead, and you are working towards securing your future, just to make sure that you and the people that you care about are in a safe position when these changes occur, whatever those changes are that you're anticipating. Because I do see that as a Scorpio, you are anticipating change, because that's the one thing that you have seen in your life come and go. Things change. So I feel here, this is a card where you may be stepping into the unknown in some area of your life, in uncharted territory. And whilst, deep down you may be expecting troubles ahead, I feel like you're in a transition towards something greater, something better. And for some of you, on a more sort of practical level, some of you are taking a vacation. You may have had a long period where you've been working really hard and you're stressed out, you are burnt out, and you're just like, I need a break. So it takes a long time for you to actually go, enough is enough, because you're a very resilient sign that has a lot of power in terms of endurance. So I feel there's a lot of cards here that indicate that you're going to take some sort of break either at the end of May or into June, and you're setting yourself up, almost preparing yourself by getting everything in order, because I feel like you're going to be super organized this month and you're going to be totally on it. Now, we do have a wonderful card there, Completion, West. Okay, now completion, it tends to tell me that you are going to start projects but also finish projects. So whatever you start, you'll definitely finish. This is also about tying up loose ends and really utilizing your skill set or utilizing your energy in order to tick a lot of things on your list that perhaps you've been meaning to get around to do. So this could be decluttering the home space, doing some DIY, because your second house of value and also, creating a stable sanctuary or a position of stability. It's really about creating safety with that second house. So I feel like you are going to be totally on it when it comes to that. And, this card is number 4. And it has a wonderful piece of the puzzle there. So you're definitely finding that missing piece, and it helps you put to rest a couple of things as well. I feel like you're getting a lot of closure this month. But when you get this card in particular, it's like every cycle comes to a close and you're not resisting the end of something. And that's why this energy is coming through for you. It's like because the end actually heralds a new beginning. And that's why you have that 6 of Swords. You're moving on to something better. For some of you, it could be that you just walked away from, a job and you're moving into something else. For some of you, it could be that you've walked away from a neighborhood and you're integrating yourself into a new neighborhood and, making new alliances. Maybe even some of you are like, okay, I need to step out of my usual parameters, and you're going to discover new things about the area that you're currently in. For some of you, you may even discover new things about the people that you've surrounded yourself with for quite some time. And you may be weighing up whether they still deserve a place in your life there. But definitely some new beginnings happening here for you. And sometimes I feel like new beginnings, it can sound so vague, but I actually see here that life is going to get infinitely faster for you, but in a way where it challenges you, it reignites your passion. And if you felt like you've been laying dormant for some time, or that you've had a level of apathy, like you've struggled to, do the things that you normally love, I definitely see that this new beginning is almost like a new perspective, but also like a new you, where you're almost tapping into a part of yourself that you feel you've lost touch with or has lain dormant for quite some time. Now, of course, this card, again, is really about not being afraid of this new beginning. It could be the completion of a project and now you're wondering what's next. It could also be that something that you really enjoyed has come to an end. For some of you, it could be that, the end of a relationship is something that you've been grieving, or you felt it's been hard to let go of it for some time because you've been in a period of not only closure, but asking the whys of a situation. I feel like you've had to give yourself the very difficult task of getting closure yourself rather than getting the answers, because sometimes we can never get answers. We must be okay with not getting answers, and sometimes that's really hard to acknowledge and process. We have to really own our energy, empower ourselves by saying, actually, you know what, I don't need answers. I don't need you to validate a reason why I need closure from this situation. So I feel really you're stepping into this major energy of empowerment this month, and you're letting go of a lot of things that may have been swirling around your mind for quite some time, and it feels like you're emerging like a brand new you. Now, I'm being drawn, my guides literally drew me to the phoenix rising from the ashes, and that is something that goes hand in hand with the Scorpio, but I really feel like the month of May is akin to that energy. Now, we do have movement, okay, and speed, so I do feel like the latter part of May will be faster for you, but I still feel it's going to be a month of following your passions, being very productive, being very organized. But this card, when you get it, it's number 42. Of course, when you reduce it, 4 plus 2 is 6. So you can find a level of balance and harmony in a faster pace. I feel like this is a card that reminds you that sometimes, even though the pace around us is super fast, you're also paying close attention to what's important or who is important in your life. Because this card, it is a little reminder of savor the experience of your life. We are human beings. We don't always have to be human doings. And whilst you are on the go a lot, I feel like you're being mindful and being aware of the speed in which you live your life. Because sometimes if we're just on autopilot doing all the things that we love doing, sometimes we can feel a little bit unfulfilled. We can actually go, okay, great, I accomplished that. I accomplished this. Brilliant. My plan is taking shape. but am I feeling really, truly valued or fulfilled in this situation? You know, I feel you're really checking in deeper this month to ask those questions, and you are finding more moments to really connect with people or those that you care about. Also, this card is a card that, you know, you're not wanting to waste time this month. I do feel time is a major factor for you, and I feel you are understanding the discernment of taking quality time. Taking quality time for you, taking quality time out to focus on a project. You know, if you've got lots of things going on, sometimes we can feel very scattered. We give a little bit of energy here, there, everywhere, and we feel unfulfilled. You know, even if, you know, you feel you have to do something that is a responsibility or a requirement for your life, but ultimately you want to be somewhere else, we're not fully living in that moment. We are almost fracturing parts of ourselves, and the only person who ends up feeling unfulfilled is you. So I feel right now you're just looking at what's important in this month, and your 7th house and your 2nd house is really going to help you establish the important relationships, the important moments, and where you value your time. And if anyone wastes your time, you know, I feel like you're disconnecting from those situations. Now, we do have the Chariot card. For some of you, you may even purchase a car this month. I'm just actually seeing someone sign on the dotted line for a car. So if that's you, don't be pressured into purchasing anything too quick, and make sure that you do your due diligence. Again, it comes back to the microscope and the magnifying glass. Look a little bit deeper. So, but I feel ultimately you're going to enjoy the car that you purchase, because you're not going to buy something at surface level. But for the majority of you, the Chariot card indicates you're going to achieve your goals. You're going to be very productive, and this is a card of your dedication paying off and making a breakthrough or making progress. All of these cards at the end of the month indicate you're going to look back on May and see that there is progress there. And some of you, you may be thinking about moving abroad or launching a new way of living in some way, and you're just finalizing details, or you're doing the reconnaissance work where you're finding all the information and strategizing before you take that leap of faith. Because I feel it's like gathering or harvesting information right now so that you understand all elements of what it is that you're about to do. But you're in a really good position to springboard towards whatever it is you want. And I feel like whatever you launch yourself into in the month of May, it's going to be very rewarding for you, and also very, very successful. This month is all about your energy, your direction, and how you channel that energy into whatever it is you set out to do. Now, really interesting, the first card you got in this sort of part of the spread was the Two of Wands. So the Two of Wands really is a card of creatively planning for the future, mapping your progress, trusting in the unknown, and knowing that the universe has got your back. But also, it's a card that indicates that things are going to work out for you in unexpected ways. The perfect situation is actually going to arise for you this month, and I feel like you're aligning with what you need right now. Also, Two of Wands can be a card of observation, and I keep getting that energy here for you. So it could be that you're keeping an eye on a situation or a person or the world at large, because you feel like you need to be prepared for whatever it is that you are expecting. Trust your intuition, because if you have a hunch, I feel like your hunch is right. But again, the Two of Wands is a card of feeling restless, but having certain expectations and then managing those expectations and writing lists and accomplishing things on your list. But also, I feel everything is going according to plan. Even when something comes to put a fly in the ointment, because that's life. We all know that sometimes something comes along that just plot twists our life in some way, and I feel you're still on track. I really feel that, you know, your plans are taking shape, and this is a high potential month that also has a lot of ambition attached to it as well. Now, with that Two of Wands, some of you, you know, all this effort that you're making, you're kind of looking back and saying, well, where's the results? But I definitely see that you are just maintaining momentum, and you are going to see those results. The Chariot card twice tells me that there is triumph here. There is success. All the energy is for something. You are on the right track, and there will be rewards. Now, for some of you, because you've got the Chariot card twice, when you apply that to finances for example, because your second house is governing you at the end of the month. So we'll pay more attention there. I definitely see you're keeping a tight rein on your finances, budgeting. I feel like you're making sure that you have enough, but also some to save. I feel like you're being very savvy. For some of you, you have been saving in order to purchase something large. As I said, this could be it could be a car, it could be a vacation, could also be property, real estate, because I see a lot of your cards, there's movement. I mean, you've got the fire card, which is like all this tenacious energy and, you know, this ignition of passion there. We've also got some very fast-paced energy here as well. So again, there's movement. And you've got the Chariot card twice, which again is a directional change or movement in some way. And I feel like you're utilizing your knowledge and, you know, you're taking a measured approach to May with making sure that everything you want to accomplish, you get done. And there's definitely empowerment on that. I mean, also, there's a little compass there. So I feel definitely a directional gauge here for you. But I feel when it comes to finances, you're keeping that tight rein on your finances. And some of you, you know, there's a lot of legal documents that you may be looking into this month. Some of you may also be setting up or launching a business or have an idea of launching something, and it'll be very lucrative, but it requires a lot of your attention and a lot of your time. I see that it will be hard work, but I feel like you're going to invest all of your hard work there as well. So 2 wands, observing, you are making progress, and I feel like you're aligning with what you need right now. Trust in the process. Even if it feels like you can't see the results right now, the results are going to be viewable very, very soon. Now we have 2 5s here. Interesting. We've got the 5 of Swords, so this can be a card of overthinking, analytical energy, but I feel at the beginning of the month, you're not really over-analyzing anything. I feel like you're just in that go-getting spirit. But, you know, when things start to take shape, we then start to rethink, or we start to re-strategize. 5 of Swords can indicate that tension and conflict that I was talking about, and I'm actually seeing it as a really positive challenge. You know, so for example, if you have a deadline, it lights a fire up your you-know-what in order to get moving on something. Sometimes we need structure, and I don't like to say that because I don't really like structure myself, but I do also like to know where I'm at. So sometimes structure works really well for us. So if you have a deadline, I definitely see that, you know, it's going to help you accomplish and move forward quite quickly on anything that you're trying to accomplish there. For some of you, I'm seeing some legal paperwork. So this could be new contracts coming in that you may want to really fine-tooth comb through, just to make sure that you see everything that doesn't keep you stuck, because later on you'll have to revisit this contract if you just breeze over it. So really read the details there. For some of you, it could be that you're changing internet providers, energy providers, or you're remortgaging your property, for example. I feel like it could be service provider energy, where you're looking at how much you spend on certain products and whether you can get them cheaper elsewhere, because I feel like you're very much in a budget kind of mode. Doesn't mean that, you know, you're struggling with finances. I feel like you're just being really savvy with your finances. But with the 5 of Swords and the 5 of Wands, whatever you've been challenging yourself to do, I feel like you may actually be a little bit more critical on yourself, because it feels very much like you expect more of yourself. So just be a little bit mindful of having a little bit more compassion for yourself in the month of May, because sometimes we can write 10 things on our list, and we look at the end of the day and think, oh, I accomplished 3 of those things. And then you start to be really critical that you could have done more, or you wasted some time in this area. But we need to realize that, you know, everything has its time and place, and it'll be more productive if you put, say, 3 things on your list and accomplish those 3 things for the day and think, you know what, now I've got time to do one more thing. And it gives you this sense of like, yeah, I accomplished everything, and now I even did one extra thing and I feel great. So I feel like you're just having a rethink about how you approach things, and also you're looking at your expectations. You have such huge expectations of yourself because you know what you're capable of. But sometimes when you feel like you run out of time, or you feel that perhaps, you know, things or people got in your way, and you didn't reach exactly where you wanted to be, sometimes you berate yourself. And I feel it's really important to recognize that you know, you're doing a great job and that you just need to manage your expectations just a little bit more. You're absolutely capable of accomplishing everything you set out to do, but give yourself a really realistic time frame is what I'm seeing there. Okay, now the Five of Swords, I did mention it. Conflict is a good way to see your motives as well as your intentions. You can use this experience to grow into a more authentic version of yourself, and it's important here when you have this card to sort of like lead with integrity, be really honest with yourself, which you normally do. But the Five of Wands can also indicate you need to be honest when you feel challenged or stressed out, you know, rather than bottling it all up, because that can actually hurt you more, but it can also be a combustible energy when you feel frustrated. If you tend to take on too much or tell people, you know, you'll be there for them because you're the sort of person who tries to help everybody out and, you know, always be there for them if they need you. But at the same time, sometimes you do it at your own cost. So you may have time to do everything for everybody else, but then, you know, you leave little time for yourself. So I feel some of you are readdressing that. Now, that Five of Wands also is a great card for being in training for something. I mean, some of you may be training for the marathon, or you may be training for a sporting event, or you could be training in, you know, some sort of course of learning. And I feel like you're embracing the student of life, and whatever it is that you are studying or training for at this time, I definitely see a win, an accomplishment, a move forward. Could be a certification or a qualification, but it's also this sense of feeling empowered but also fulfilled, both inside and in your outside circumstances as well. Now, I definitely see a lot of movement as in travel, okay? I've already mentioned this, so there's some sort of either quick trip or a vacation here that's going to really enrich your soul. Some of you could like take a weekend away somewhere cultural so that you can absorb the history, because I feel a lot of you are really absorbed in history this month as well. And I mean, the Chariot card just tells me it's going to be a really super fast month for you, and you need to be organized in order to manage stress levels and pressure levels there. I mean, I'm not seeing any people here, so this is more about you and how you manage your day-to-day. It's also about you reigniting that passion, and you may have felt it's been missing for some time, but I feel like you're reconnecting to a part of yourself that has been missing for some time there as well. I would say keep an eye on important documentation that may have like an expiry date or a due date, for example, because I feel there's something here. I would check all mail, spam folders, and hard copy mail, because there may be something that's time sensitive in the month of May for you. And it's almost like in order to get everything organized, you may have to do it last minute because either you didn't see the document or you forgot about the due date. I feel like there could be something that you're going to have to like rush around and do. It feels unexpected as well. I mean, for some of you, with that Six of Swords and the Fool card, it could be someone who is incompetent in their role. It's almost like their problem or their mistake may encroach on your time, and you've got to figure it out or sort it out in real quick time. Okay, thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels. Can you please guide my beautiful Scorpio? What do they need to know? Can you please guide them for their highest good? What do they need to be aware of? Okay. Can you please guide my beautiful Scorpio? What do they need to know? Can you please show them what they need to be aware of? Okay. I'm being given the number 6 right now, so I feel that perhaps they want 6 cards. That's 5. Okay, so we have suspicion. Okay, and this figure, their eyes are highlighted. So maybe that's what the eyes were about. Something you're suspicious about. You're keeping a critical eye on it in the month of May there. It says here, the moment there is suspicion, everything becomes tainted. Distrustful, cautious, and disbelief. Now, I'm not seeing anything here that is a cause for suspicion. You know, the energy has not given that up. But maybe it's something you don't trust, like in your working environment or in the world at large. I feel like you have a healthy mistrust of establishments or power plays, shall we say, but I feel like you're just keeping an eye on something that you don't trust, just to make sure that you are in a secure position for you and the people you care about long term. We also have openness. And it says here, create the atmosphere of openness and trust without game playing, transparency, vulnerability, receptivity. Okay. So, I mean, there's a lot here about trust and mistrust. So perhaps some of you, if you've gone through some sort of separation, or you're going through some pressure in a relationship, some of you could be that you're going through a difficult time in a friendship or a relationship, and you know, you're basically, your seventh house is asking you, who do you trust and who do you not trust? And if you're going through a separation, or you're distancing yourself from people that you feel you cannot trust, it can feel like a very lonely and isolating time. And I'm sending you a huge hug out there, because it is a very difficult experience. But I mean, your next card, it really does say, don't get lost in the pain of it. Okay, it says sadness here. Don't get lost in your pain. Keep going. Your story doesn't end here. So whether this is a rejection, whether this is a separation, whether this is you getting closure on some very traumatic experiences from your life, whilst they shaped you and informed who you are, they no longer have power over you, because they exist in the past. And the past is, you know, it is a memory, of course. It is not something that we can take with us to the future unless we allow it to. So I feel getting closure on some very difficult experiences in order to establish your power and make sure that it no longer has hold over you. But I mean, it says here, heartbreak, betrayal, loneliness, pain. So again, I'm sending you a huge hug out there if you've been going through a very highly pressurized time. And this is not the end of your story. This is only the beginning. So again, it is a new beginning in some way. And it can feel daunting. You know, many, many years ago, when I had to restart my whole life from scratch, basically, lost a relationship, a property that I was living in with the relationship, job, and everything just fell apart within a matter of months. And I was very, very shocked. I had my tower moment and then some. And, you know, at the time I thought it's the end of the world. I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do. And I stood very still, and change was afoot. And I actually saw the signs. I ignored the signs. And every day, my guides, I didn't really understand guides or my spiritual path. I was actually running away from all of that at that time. And every morning I'd woken up, I heard, this is not my life. Well, actually, it was, the voice was inside. It was like, this is not your life. That was the actual sentence I got. And I didn't really take stock of it. I was like, what's that? I've got everything that I thought I wanted. You know, the relationship, the job, property, you know, it just feels empty somehow still. It wasn't the path that I was meant to be on. And sometimes the universe comes along and makes sure you restart. So some of you could be going through that right now, and it can feel really daunting, but I promise you it gets better, because if I look back now, I'm so glad it happened. At the time, I was shell shook. I didn't know what was going on. But as the future came in, suddenly I was like, I'd go back to that period and I'd say, thank you, a million times thank you for that experience, because it, you know, just helped me along my path even further, and I'm more enriched today for it. We've got offerings, okay? So it says here, there is an offer or a gift that's meant for you. Trust it. Again, there's something about trust here. Offer a gift showing respect and healing. So these are beautiful cards. They are the Shamanic Heart Oracle by MAHRUKH X there, and there is something, I feel it's a win, something from the universe that's coming in good for you, because you may have experienced things in the past that when things happen that are good, you may start to go, okay, this is going really well. What's going to happen here? What's going to go wrong? So I feel some of you may be looking at life from that viewpoint at this moment in time, but there are some good things coming your way, and trust the process. It is meant for you. Now we've also got rejection. And it says, let them turn their backs on you. They aren't meant to be in your life. Ignored, no support, false promises. So, you know, you are a warrior. You don't need these experiences or these people to remain with you if they are not offering support. Of course, people, we're all different. So sometimes we accept people's differences, you know, we honor them. But if someone is toxic or rejecting you or breadcrumbing you, or, you know, just making you feel drained every time you leave their energy, sometimes we can just empower ourselves by distancing ourselves. Even if we don't want to completely cut them out of our life, distance can show someone, you know what, I've got a boundary here. You keep crossing it, so I'm going to make myself scarce until such time as you learn about the boundary. Also, an honest, open conversation really lets people know where they stand. So I feel some of you could be dealing with that as well this month. And we've also got exhaustion, and that definitely came up in this reading here. It says, it may seem like a long journey, but trust your final destination is near. And I definitely see that, you're going to accomplish something that you've worked really hard to move towards. It says here, break down mental fatigue and energy drain. And this is a period of reflection. Life is busy. Life is hard. You need to find pockets where you can rejuvenate your energy and take stock of things, because we can't always be on the go. That means we're actually going to feel like unfulfilled in some way, or it can also indicate that perhaps you're running away from something that really needs to be faced head on right now. So there is a big, deep message for May. I didn't expect it to be this long, this video, or this deep, but it is what it is. So, okay, we've only got one here. Okay, and this is the wood rune. Interesting enough, it's the energy rune. So that's all what you're focusing on this month. A very positive rune to get, this one. This is about lust for life. It's about knowledge, knowing yourself on a deeper level. It's about rekindling that energy to channel it into wonderful things. It's also about facing up to things that perhaps have really come to an end in your life. And it's about giving up the old. It's also about striking up new rapport with new people. So I definitely see that some of you are going to meet new soul tribe members this month, and these will be friends for life as well. So I'll leave it there. I hope something resonates in that reading for you, because it was very complex, so it may not resonate with everybody. So I do hope it reaches someone out there. If it does, please like and subscribe to my channel. Completely free for you. All you have to do is press a little bell that lets you know when I update my next message. It lets me know that you resonate with the reading, which is so important for me too. Thank you so much, my beautiful Scorpio, and love and light.